Hello everybody, I hope you are all doing well. This is going to be my team builder for GBA week 7 along with some updatey bits. So this week, I've been really busy. I'm making a habit of it, which is, it's alright. Keeping busy is a good thing, it's just I don't want this to take too much of a hit. But anyways, the only time that was suitable for Cooper and I to battle this week is Sunday. So that is probably when you'll be seeing this video after we've battled, and then on Monday you'll get the battle itself. So that's just a bit of an explanation about what's going on there. And also a bit of housekeeping. With Mewcastle United, we have made the first change of the season to our roster. We dipped into free agency and swapped out Kecleon for Pyroar. Now, I'll just go briefly into the reasons why. I think Kecleon is a good Pokemon in Draft League format, and I think it's a really good value pick. It has a number of things that could be useful, but the issue was on my team. It was a bit redundant. So its priority options, its strong priority options are Shadow Sneak and Sucker Punch, both of which Baynet can do much better. So that wasn't really very useful, and also Stealth Rock. I've got two amazing Stealth Rockers in Mew and in Crocodile, so I never really needed to bring him for rocks. He has some good coverage options, which is nice, but I always felt a bit reticent to bring him because of his low physical defense coupled with his very low speed. It just means that he can be a bit of a liability, which I just couldn't really afford to bring on my teams, and because he didn't add much in the good things that he could do. He just never came, which is a real shame. But we're going to shake things up, and we're bringing Pyroar. Why I think this is better is because I don't have a fire type yet, so just having that extra typing will be nice, as well as it being a really nice speed tier. Outspeeding base 105s is really good. 100 is a good speed tier to outspeed. Outspeeding 105s, you actually catch a lot more Pokemon, which was just really, really great for my team. I have got some fast options, but at the moment they don't really have so much power. So Pyroar will definitely be appreciated with its base 109 special attack stat and access to powerful stabs and like Hyper Voice and Fire Blast. That's really, really, really useful. It has just enough coverage that it needs, and also a nice little extra thing that it can do is with the Unnerve ability, it means that the opponent can't use berries, which are actually relied upon quite a lot in League format. So no Ochre berries on your grass types will save you against Pyroar, and if I run a cheeky Will-O-Wisp, you can't lum that off straight away, so that's really useful. So I'm thinking that Pyroar could actually add a lot of value to my team, mainly just because it's a powerful fire type with a really nice speed tier. And actually, as we get into team building for Cooper this week, you'll see that I have decided to bring it in the first match, which goes to show that it's probably already going to be more valuable to my team than Kecleon, so that's really good. So yes, this week we're going up against the Utah Jasmines, coached by Cooper, who's a really cool dude. He has a penchant for using Aggron, and if that's not enough to like him and check out his channel, I don't know what is. His link's in the description as always. And yeah, his team is really interesting. It's a really interesting one to try and build against. The first thing that I did see though was he didn't really have any good fire type switch-ins, his only resistance being Greninja, which really can't take Specs Fire Blasts from Pyroar. So he doesn't have great switch-ins on this. If I get a Spike Up, he literally has no switch-ins, apart from maybe an Assault Vest Pokemon or like a max special defense Claydol, but even then it can be 2-hit KO'd. Like, this thing is going to be hopefully really good, a really great revenge killer, or like if something on my team goes down, I can bring this in and get a kill, hopefully. The moves I've gone for, all I need is fire type coverage. That is all I need. So I've gone for Fire Blast and Flamethrower, just so that I have a more accurate option. I then have Taunt in case I lose my item. I can 1v1 Clefable a little bit better and stop some of his Pokemon healing up, which could be really useful. And also Will-O-Wisp maybe to catch Empoleon if it wants to try and switch in, so I can get some residual damage going on that. But because his switch-ins are likely going to be either Empoleon, or Clefable, Fire Blast is generally my better option because Empoleon can't heal and Clefable has Magic Guard, so Will-O-Wisp won't affect it too much. So just getting those big choice specs Fire Blasts off is really what I want to aim to be doing. So yeah, that's Pyroar already coming, and I'm hoping that it will do a lot of work in the first match, its debut. So the next Pokemon that I am bringing, I was thinking like, what is the issue? What problems could bringing Pyroar cause? And the main one I thought about was Gallade coming in and getting an easy revenge every time. Mega Gallade outspeeds and has the super effective close combat. So I've chosen Mew to be my check for that, my switch in. It does have the Colbur Berry, so it can take knockoffs a bit better. But it's by no means like a complete answer to Mega Gallade, because Mega Gallade actually is slightly bulkier than I hoped, which means that Psyshock is only doing 1/3 of its health, and it could be a bulk up set, which could really screw me over. Equally, it could be a taunt set, which means that I'm not sure if I'd 1v1 it, because even with the Colbur Berry, knockoff can be doing quite a bit of damage. If he gets a Swords Dance up, I don't know, we'll see. I probably would be able to 1v1 a Mega Gallade, but it does depend what set, and I think if he wanted to, he could bring a Mega Gallade set that would beat a Colbur Mew. But yeah, we'll see. Also, this set is, so it's not just for switching in, it's got the Calm Mind there, and it can be a win con. He's got a lot of steel types that hit super effectively by the Aura Sphere, and the Psyshock is there. Well, the Psyshock, honestly, it's only there for Clefable, because this will win a Calm Mind war with Clefable because I hit on the physical side with Psyshock. Unless it's an unaware Clefable, in which case I shouldn't be having Calm Mind wars. That would be very, very stupid. Yes. But otherwise I would have probably chosen Shadow Ball because it hits Gallade a bit harder, and that's really the only other thing that I would be concerned about. Yeah, so that's the Mew set. 28 speed to outspeed all of his base 60s, of which he has many. The next Pokemon, Klefki, is here. It's basically my only thing to switch into Staraptor. I needed something to switch into Staraptor. And this is my thing, and even then it doesn't really switch into Staraptor. Oh my god, that thing is so stupid. It hits way too hard, but at least it will be able to take one hit, maybe two, depending on the set, and I can threaten with the Thunder Wave. I've also got Spikes on here because that'll help with the Steel types that he's got more than the Stealth Rock would. And I've also got Magnet Rise and HP Ice to help me beat Gliscor, because I built a team and then I realised that it probably was quite weak to Gliscor, so that's why I've got HP Ice. Not sure if it is the best option, and I'm still kind of ruminating and thinking whether maybe Flash Cannon is a better way to go, just so that I can threaten Clefable a bit more, even though it's very likely to bring a Fire type move. So I'm not really sure. But I just thought that Gliscor is probably going to be his most likely switch in on this, maybe, but I don't know. Anyways, moving on, we've got Fool of a Crook. This guy is here to set up rocks, and I've got Earthquake because it hits a ton of his team. The only things that are immune to it are Claydol, which won't like the knockoff stuff, his Staraptor, which is probably going to be a bit of a wink on for him, so he won't want to be switching that in on attacks. And then Weezing, which I haven't contemplated too much. I'm not too scared of it, but I don't know if it could do some really annoying stuff. I'm hoping that it doesn't do some really annoying stuff, because I don't want to be annoyed. I've got the sub on there. I'm not even sure if Weezing would be able to break my sub. Obviously it can't hit me with the with the poison type hits, and if he's got Will-O-Wisp I can sub behind that. If he tries to Pain Split me, I'll be behind a sub, so this might actually 1v1 a Weezing set, but we'll see. He might have T-Bolt for my bat, or he might have a fire move for Klefki. I probably don't have enough HP to be able to for my sub to live a flamethrower from a Weezing. But I will do that calc because I want to know, because if this guy can 1v1 Weezing, that would be great. If I can keep my sub as well. Yeah, I chose Substitute because I thought that would actually give me a lot of momentum. If I bring it in on something that it threatens, like a Steel type, get a sub up, and then if he wants to bring in like a Colbur Claydol, I might be able to beat that just straight there. or if he wants to bring in something else. Also, knockoff does a ton to Gallade before it's Mega. If he wants to try and get the Justified boost, I am going to smash him. So that will be really nice. So I'm not concerned about him getting that boost because knockoff will do so much. I would actually be able to 2-hit KO. The next Pokemon, oh yeah, and it is Adamant, which is really nice. The next Pokemon is Breaking Bat. This guy is very important for avenging stuff. So he's got Greninja on his roster, which actually could be a huge threat. That thing is really unpredictable. It can hit on both sides and could be a really scary wall breaker for me. Also, it gets access to spikes. I don't actually have any hazard removal on my side of the field, and I'm hoping beyond hope that he just doesn't go for hazard stack, and I'm hoping that he brings his own defog, because that way I would hopefully be able to control hazards a bit better. I didn't feel like bringing my own defog because I am bringing 2 types of hazards, and it doesn't affect my team too much, although it kind of does, because I have Pyroar, which is pretty important. But anyway, yeah, I've got recovery on this guy and Mew. Hopefully that will be enough for them to be switching in and things. Anyway, yeah, Brave Bird, powerful Brave Bird to kill Gallade, and also to kill Staraptor, and also to kill Greninja. I've got Roost just to keep me healthy. HP Ice just because I am really scared about Gliscor, and that would actually be able to revenge it from behind the sub, hopefully. And this thing would hopefully be able to 1v1 it anyway because it can't be toxic, and Earthquake doesn't affect it, and Ice Fang might come, or Stone Edge might come. We'll see. And the final move is Super Fang because it's really my best thing to do to a lot of the steel types, rather than running anything else. I could have run U-turn somewhere on there as well, but it doesn't really address any of my concerns. The other thing I could run is Cross Poison, and I am still debating that because Clefable I don't really have immediate answers to. I've got stuff that would hopefully be able to beat it. If it's... maybe I should run Toxic somewhere actually, because this beats a Magic Guard Clef, which is what I'm expecting. But if he does bring Unaware, I might struggle a bit more. But anyway, the last Pokemon hopefully addresses that. I will come onto that in a sec. His speed is just outspeed Greninja. The rest is attack, and anything left over is spread so that I get the most benefit. Yeah, and then the final Pokemon, Squirmy Worm, Assault Vest, as always. I haven't really ventured too far from the formula. This thing is my switch in on Magnezone. That's why I had to have Shed Shell on Klefki. I don't want it to be trapped because it's my only switch in on Staraptor. This guy can switch in on the Magnezone really easily, even if it's analytic, and go from there. It also has HP Ice to hit Claydol and Gliscor, mainly Gliscor because I could run Giga Drain if it was just for Claydol, but Gliscor I'm actually really scared of. I do think I'm going to struggle taking it down because I have nothing that hits it with super effective stab. But anyway, we'll see. I've got Flamethrower on there to hit the Magnezone, which it's switching into. Volt Switch, just because I want to gain momentum. And then the final move is Acid Spray, because that allows me to beat Clefable. I'll drop its special defense quicker than it can raise it with Calm Mind. So hopefully I should be able to 1v1 it. The only thing to note here is I was considering a different move instead of Flamethrower so that I could hit Aggron a bit harder, but I think it will be outspeeding me anyway because I'm not running very much speed. So my best play there would probably just be to switch out maybe to Crook, because he can take head smashes a little bit better, but not very well if it's banded, but it would threaten him out. So that is the team. I'm not sure how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like my Lion could potentially be super good, but the stuff I'm fearing is just the pressure from Staraptor being a little bit too much for my Klefki. My Klefki losing me a lot of momentum is definitely something that I'm a bit worried about. I will throw a Spike out as soon as I can because that will help my Pyroar getting those 2-hit KOs, and it will help me see what Clefable it is. And yeah, the other things, Gallade, I'm a little bit scared of. I don't know if my Mew will beat it. If that goes down to Gallade as well, then I won't have very much for Clefable. So that could be a real issue, and yeah, I would debate putting Cross Poison on Crobat. If his Clefable isn't very defensive, then this thing should be able to do massive damage to it. If it's specially defensive, then this thing should be able to do more damage to it. So I guess we'll see. This team is potentially, there's potentially room for changes before the match because I'm still thinking about it. But that's my thought processes going into it. I haven't brought either of my dragons, which is really interesting, but he's got Clef and ways to deal with them quite well, lots of steel types. And I'm guessing probably some ground berries going around. I would very much expect a Shuka Empoleon coming this week. That would be very, very likely, I think. But anyway, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully this all works out. Really looking forward to using the Lion. I guess we'll see you on Monday. All that's left to be said is, I've been foofootoo, you've been awesome, and hopefully see you next time. Goodbye.